Hello everyone and welcome to our exploration of history's forgotten professions. Our journey today takes us back to a time when societal norms, technology, and labor laws were vastly different from what we know today. We'll delve into the world of historical professions, some of which may sound strange, even unbelievable to our modern ears. These are the jobs that have disappeared, faded into the annals of history, replaced by modern technology or societal progression. But why should we care about these long-gone professions? It's simple. Understanding them helps us appreciate how far we've come in terms of working conditions and the significance of labor protection. It aids us in recognizing the struggles and triumphs of our forebears, and it provides a unique lens through which we can view the relentless march of progress. So buckle up as we journey back in time to discover the jobs of yesteryears. Our first stop is the construction sites of ancient and medieval times, where we find crane operators. These hard-working individuals were responsible for operating the earliest versions of cranes, which were then powered by men or animals. Invented by the ancient Greeks in the 6th century BC, these cranes were used to build structures that still inspire awe today, like the Parthenon. Operating a crane was no small feat. It required strength, precision, and a keen understanding of mechanics. The operator had to coordinate the movement of heavy loads, often over great heights, which was a dangerous task. A single mistake could result in severe injury, or even death, making this a high-risk profession. The physical strain associated with operating these early cranes was immense. Crane operators had to contend with long hours, harsh weather conditions, and the constant risk of accidents. This took a toll on their health, leading to ailments such as back problems, joint issues, and in some cases, serious injuries. Despite these challenges, crane operators played a crucial role in the construction of buildings, bridges, and other structures that formed the backbone of cities and civilizations. Their skills and labor helped shape the world as we know it. Fast forward to today, and you'll find that crane operators are still an integral part of construction projects. However, technology has significantly changed the nature of their work. Modern cranes are powered by engines and controlled by sophisticated computer systems. This has reduced the physical strain on operators and increased safety. Today's operators are highly trained professionals who use their skills to maneuver heavy loads with precision. So, while the cranes have evolved from the simple machines of ancient times to the technological marvels we see today, the role of the operator still remains crucial. They are the unseen heroes of construction, working from great heights to build the structures that shape our cities and our lives. While cranes have evolved, the role of the operator still remains crucial. They are the unseen heroes, working from great heights to build the structures that shape our cities and our lives. They remind us of the constant interplay between human ingenuity and technological progress, a dance that continues to shape our world. Next, we delve into the spiritual realm with the profession of sin-eaters. This was a role that existed primarily in Europe from the Middle Ages through the early 20th century. Sin-eaters were individuals hired to consume a ritual meal, thereby metaphorically taking on the sins of a recently deceased person and ensuring their soul's safe passage to the afterlife. Now, let's try to comprehend the gravity of such a role. Imagine carrying the burden of other people's sins, their misgivings, their wrongdoings, all resting on your shoulders. The psychological impact of this profession was undoubtedly profound. It required a person of strong constitution, willing to be ostracized from society for their unique and somewhat eerie role. Sin-eaters were often shrouded in social stigma. They were both feared and respected, living on the fringes of their communities. Their work was necessary, yet it was also seen as unclean. This dichotomy speaks volumes about the societal attitudes of the time. The ritual performed by sin-eaters was simple yet solemn. A loaf of bread and a mug of ale were placed on the chest of the deceased, and the sin-eater would consume these, symbolically ingesting the sins of the departed. This act was accompanied by a prayer or incantation, further emphasizing the spiritual significance of the task. The practice of sin-eating also offers a fascinating insight into how our understanding of sin and penance has evolved over time. Today, most cultures lean on introspection, personal growth, and atonement for one's own misdeeds, rather than offloading them onto another. It's interesting to ponder if this shift reflects a societal move towards individual responsibility and away from collective blame. The sin-eaters, a profession that truly shows the evolution of societal beliefs. A role that was once seen as necessary yet reviled, a profession that carried the weight of a community's sins. It's a chilling reminder of how far we've come in our understanding of morality and personal responsibility. The echoes of the Sin Eaters continue to resonate, reminding us of the complexities and contradictions of our past. Now let's navigate the grimy streets of Victorian London with the rat catchers. These unsung heroes of the Victorian era held a job as essential as it was unsettling. As industrialization surged, the population of London exploded, leading to overcrowded, unsanitary conditions perfect for the proliferation of rats. Rat catchers were the frontline defense against these disease-carrying creatures. Their methods were as varied as they were ingenious. Some employed ferrets or terriers trained to hunt and kill rats. Others relied on traps and baits, often concocted from a lethal cocktail of poisons. The bravest, or perhaps the most desperate, even resorted to hand-to-hand combat, using sticks or bare hands to capture or kill their quarry. But the job was not without its perils. Rats are known carriers of various diseases like the bubonic plague, which decimated populations in the past. Rat catchers risked infection every single day. The use of poisons also posed a significant risk, both to the rat catchers and to the environment. However, their efforts were not in vain. Rat catchers played a crucial role in maintaining public health, a role that today we entrust to pest control professionals and public health departments. The evolution from rat catchers to these modern entities is a testament to the advancements we've made in understanding disease transmission and prevention. As we reflect on the working conditions of these Victorian rat catchers, we can't help but appreciate the strides we've made in public health. Today, we understand the importance of sanitation, disease control, and population management in a way that was simply not possible during the Victorian era. Our understanding of diseases, their transmission, and how to prevent them has improved immeasurably. We've developed more humane, safe, and effective methods of pest control. We've also grown to understand the importance of a healthy ecosystem where each creature, even rats, plays a crucial role. From rat catchers to pest control, public health has indeed come a long way. Let's continue to appreciate the progress we've made while remembering the hard-won lessons of the past. Royal courts had their unique professions too, like the Groom of the Stool. Now the title might sound somewhat grand, but the role was far from glamorous. The Groom of the Stool was the trusted servant of the monarch. His primary duty? To assist the king during his visits to the toilet. Yes, you heard that right. This position was considered to be one of great importance and intimacy. The Groom of the Stool was responsible for supplying the king's chamber pot, cleaning the royal person, and even monitoring and keeping track of the monarch's bowel movements. Despite the unappealing nature of the job, it was highly coveted. The Groom of the Stool had unparalleled access to the king, often being privy to secrets and confidential matters of the court. He could influence the monarch's decisions, making the position a powerful one. Imagine the paradox: a servant performing some of the most menial tasks, yet wielding a considerable amount of influence. It shows us how the concepts of power, dignity, and privacy have evolved over the centuries. In the modern world, we value our privacy intensely, especially in matters of personal hygiene. But in the historical context, the lines between public and private life were often blurred, especially in royal courts. The king's body was seen as a political entity, not just a personal one. It was a symbol of the state, and its care was a matter of national importance. The role of the Groom of the Stool began to lose its significance with the advent of indoor plumbing, and by the time of Queen Victoria, the position had become largely ceremonial. Reflecting on such professions helps us understand the evolution of societal norms and how our perceptions of privacy, dignity, and status have changed over time. A job that truly redefines the concept of being close to power. And with that, we close our discussion on the Groom of the Stool, a unique profession that exemplifies the peculiarities and paradoxes of historical occupations. The Industrial Revolution brought many changes, including the profession of matchstick makers. This was a time when the world was on fire with innovation, and yet, ironically, it was the small flame of a matchstick that became a symbol of progress. Matchstick makers, or phosphorus workers as they were sometimes called, were the unsung heroes of the 19th century. They toiled away in factories, their hands stained yellow from the white phosphorus used in the match heads. But this job was as dangerous as it was necessary. The white phosphorus was, and prolonged exposure could lead to phossy jaw, a condition that caused the jawbone to decay. The pain was excruciating, and only known treatment was the surgical removal of the affected bone. Despite these risks, the matchstick thrived. It was a time of contradiction, where progress and peril went hand in hand. But as the dangers became more apparent, the workers began to fight for their rights. In London, the Match Girls' strike of 1888 was a turning point. These brave women stood up against their employers, safer working conditions and fair pay. Their actions sparked a chain of events that led to significant changes in labor laws and paved the way for the modern workers' rights movement. Today, the production of matchsticks is a far cry from the hazardous conditions of the past. Modern factories adhere to strict safety standards, and the use of phosphorus has been replaced with safer alternatives. The matchstick makers of the past would hardly recognize their profession in its current form, but it's important to remember their struggle. Their story serves as a stark reminder of how far we've come and the sacrifices to improve worker safety. The matchstick makers may have faded into the annals of history, but their legacy continues to light the way towards a better future. The matchstick makers a stark reminder of the progress we have made in worker safety. Please like, follow, and subscribe for more historical insights. Until next time, keep exploring.